History is almost always written by the victors, the powerful, and the men who occupied the palaces. But hidden in the shadows of the Qing dynasty, deep within the mountains of southern China, lived a population that history tried to erase. For over 1,000 years, the women of Zhangyuan were denied an education. They were forbidden from learning the official Hanzi characters, confined to their homes, and forced into a life of total domestic silence. But these women refused to be silenced. Using nothing but the tips of their needles and the ink from their sewing kits, they built a secret world. They created a phonetic code so complex that it baffled scholars for decades. A language designed specifically to keep men in the dark. Today we peel back the layers of this forgotten rebellion to uncover the only gender-specific writing system in human history. This is the story of Nüshu. Welcome to a special documentary by WonderDoc Studio. Don't forget to subscribe as we dive deep into the world's most mysterious archives. To understand Nüshu, we must travel to Zhangyuan County. This isolated region was a melting pot of Han Chinese and Yao ethnic cultures. In this rigid society, women were subjected to neishun, or internal instructions, which dictated that their only value was in serving their families. Because they were deemed unworthy of literacy, they took the sounds of their local dialect, the Chengguan speech, and turned them into a visual code. Unlike standard Chinese, which uses logograms to represent meanings, Nüshu is a syllabic script. There are roughly 398 core characters, each one representing a sound rather than a concept. The characters are thin and slanted, often called mosquito characters, because they look like the legs of insects to the untrained eye. By 1931, this script was in peak use, hidden in plain sight on every handkerchief and fan in the region. Nüshu was not used for business or politics. It was used for jibaizi, or the sworn sisterhood. In a world where women were property, these sisters became their own family. They shared what were known as third-day missives. These were books bound in silk, gifted to a new bride 3 days after her wedding. To her husband, the book was just a series of decorative patterns, but to the bride, it was a manual of survival. The poems inside were heartbreaking. They described the pain of foot binding, the loneliness of marriage, and the hope for a better life. This was an encrypted emotional network. It allowed women to communicate across villages without a single man ever realizing that a revolutionary conversation was happening right in front of him. The secret remained safe until the 1960s. During the Cultural Revolution, the Red Guards discovered these unrecognizable symbols. In a time of extreme paranoia, they feared Nüshu was a code for international espionage. Thousands of artifacts were confiscated and burned. The script of tears almost disappeared in the smoke. For decades, the remaining speakers were too terrified to write. The language became a ghost, existing only in the memories of a few elderly grandmothers. It wasn't until the 1980s that a scholar named Gong Zhebing rediscovered the script in a remote village. The world was shocked to find that an entire language had lived and nearly died in secret. The last natural speaker of Nüshu, Yang Huanyi, passed away in 2004. With her death, The original cultural context of the language was gone, but her passing sparked a global movement to preserve what was left. Nüshu is more than just calligraphy. It is the visual proof that silence is never the same as having nothing to say. It reminds us that the most powerful stories are often the ones the world tried to hide. Stay curious to discover more hidden histories and untold wonders right here at WonderDoc Studio. Subscribe to join us on our next journey into the archives. Until next time.